Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here. It is Trash Craft Tuesday day, and I've been racking my brain thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And spied sitting in a box over on the other side of the room these file dividers. I picked these up at my favourite junk store, a few months ago at least. Haven't done anything with them yet, and I thought, why not? Let's just jump in and see what we can do. I've kind of got a loose idea, but I haven't played with it. I don't know how it's going to go. So I have, as it happens, I have 3 green ones and 1 orange and 1 blue. You know, when you go to a junk store, it's just random what's there. And so I've chosen a green one to work with because I think kind of where my head's going, this is kind of works really well with the placement of the tab, because I'm going to be leaving the tab and I'm going to make a trifold, I think. I forgot to get out my scoreboard, so just give me a sec to extricate it from its hidey hole, which is very dangerous in terms of causing crafter lunches. Right, so open up my scoreboard here. Now, how long is it? It's A4. Of course, being New Zealand, it's A4. But I'm trying to work out how I'm going to divide this kind of equally. So we've got not quite 30 centimeters. So if I make the middle section 10, then the flaps are going to be slightly smaller. Will that work? Or we can do 10, 10, and then 1 flap slightly smaller. I think that's what I'll do. Now my scoreboard is in inches at the top, which is probably out of frame, and centimeters at the bottom, probably again out of frame. There's not a lot I can do. I don't want to fiddle with the camera because I'm likely to muck things up. So I've never used the centimeters, and it falls right in between 2 of the grooves, wouldn't you know it? Well, that's a little awkward. I must admit that's a little awkward, but let's just, oh no, that's not the right one. Let's go this one, the one just before the 10 centimeters. It's going to work or it's not going to work, so just come along on the journey and we'll tweak things as we need to tweak things. Okay, so want another 10 centimeters from there. So if we go to 20, which is right in the groove, means it's going to be slightly wider than 10 centimeters. Does that matter? No, we're just going to go with it. Just going to, whoops, try and stay in the groove would be helpful. It's cardstock, so it is a little bit tricky, a little bit harder than scoring paper to get that groove done. Right, I think that's all I need the scoreboard for. Totally could wing it without the scoreboard, but because it's cardstock, I thought, no, I'm gonna use the scoreboard. So this section is going to be the widest bit because of the way the grooves did not line up for me on the right measurements. I could have played around and sort of shifted it and got it in the right place, but really, I'm not that worried if it's slightly off. So that folds inside that line. That actually could be quite beneficial. We'll see. And this one folds inside that line. So giving it a nice press, like so. So we do have a little bit, if you can see that, it's hard to see, a little bit of an overlap there, and then, but I think that's fine. I think that will work. This is the tricky part. Will it cut through both layers of that card? Because I don't want the bits on the bottom. I want to make it shorter. and I'm not going to fold it up into a pocket, because then, you know, you've got those holes. Oh yes, that worked like a dream. Brilliant. I thought it might have complained a bit, but it just sailed through like butter. Perfect. Okay, so far so good. That's kind of as far as my thoughts went, to be perfectly frank. From here on out, it's all a bit of, let's see what happens. So we've got a good base. I don't think I'll ink it right now. I think I'll wait and see how we kind of play. So I've also grabbed out my music cover digital, or bits of it that I haven't used. I think I've still got most pages intact, and I'm just going to take the top one and cover some panels, but I'm not going to cover right to the edges. I want to leave a border. So I'm going to revert to inches, about 3 3/4 by, okay, I prefer not to measure, so I'm going to also go back to the way I normally do it, which is the easiest for me. So first I'm going to cut off the white here. And get rid of the scraps off my desk. Right, now I'm going to, now that's a point. I might want to take off that bit at the top there. I'm not going to go right hard up against the design. That's a cool stamping strip because it's got some really nice colour and age to it. And I'm going to tear off this side as well. Right, now I'm just going to line it up and tear. It's the easiest way, it's the quickest way without having to measure and, you know, worry about getting it in the right place. This way I know it's going to be the good fit. Okay. Now, which part do I want on the front flap? Whoops, I tore that crooked. It's okay. Do I want this bit? I think I do. And I'm thinking I'll be able to get 2 flaps out of this, which is great. So you could use whatever you like. You could use book page, any digital, or you could use wrapping paper or whatever you like. Scrapbook paper. So that one, and I thought we could put this one over here. Do I lose some out of the text, or do I take off some of the border? I should have trimmed this one in further actually. I just didn't want to take too much in case I didn't have enough to do the 2 panels, but never mind, that's okay. We'll just take some of the border and I'll keep this decorative little strip here. I'm choosing to lose the border rather than cut the text because then it won't flow across, even though there'll be something in the middle. I just like I turn it up the right way, you know how it kind of flows across. It makes sense. I am just going to use tacky glue because I can't be bothered with glue stick this morning, and that's a fair enough reason, isn't it? just because I can't be bothered. Got a busy day ahead of taking care of some stuff around the house, doing some washing, all that kind of jazz. Hubby's going to do the vacuum cleaning when he gets home, which is great. So I've unloaded the dishwasher, loaded it back up, set that going, put the laundry on. I'm getting this video done. It's only like not quite 8:30 in the morning, so I'm getting an early start. And I want to do at least one other video today, and I've got to edit my video for today before it goes up at 11:30 this morning, so I've got to make sure I get in the office and get the computer whirring to get that done. So yeah, I'm kind of like focused on a mission before I fall flat, because I did not sleep well at all last night. And I woke up, I was about 5:20 this morning. I was like, I would really like to just get up because I'm not sleeping. I'm really sore. I'm just not comfortable. Our alarm goes off at 6 AM, so I thought if I get up at 5:20, start doing stuff, hubby is likely to be sort of edging towards coming awake. And I thought if I get up and start doing stuff, he's just going to wake up early and be extra tired at the end of the day. So I thought, no, I'll just tough it out for the rest of the night. And, you know, there was a good portion of the middle of the night there I was awake, off and on. Yeah, so I'm kind of like, get all the stuff done that I need to and want to get done before I crash. Because I am sure I will crash at some point, probably this afternoon. It's good to know oneself, isn't it? It's like know your kind of patterns and how you cope with things, or when you crash. And I'm feeling good right now. I've got scratchy eyes. My headache's okay. I haven't got a headache right now. That's a positive. That's really good considering the night I had. But yeah. It could go downhill. But if it doesn't, great. I'll just keep doing stuff. But anyway, we've done that. So we've got the inside flaps covered. In the middle, what would I like to do in the middle? Do I want to use a different sheet music? I really love this one. Love the colour of it, and the text and design and everything is so cool. I don't want something that's too similar to these, because then it's going to be like, well, that doesn't make sense, whereas a different colour is going to totally give a visual cue that it's not. You can't read right across the 3, it's across the 2 that you read. If you want to read at all, it'll probably end up being covered up. The other thing I'm thinking is I've also got a bunch of leftover digitals from RachandBella Crafts recent collaboration with Scrapbooking with Me and Melina Pylant. I had to think of the names then. It's like, who was it? These are double-sided though. Do I want to sacrifice a double-sided page? Would look pretty though, wouldn't it? I thought I had a green scrap. That one's double-sided as well. See, these are not great printing. These are when my printer was having an issue. Yeah, I do have a green scrap, and that's single-sided. So this one's printed fine, this one's printed fine, this one has lines through it, but they are better than what they were when it first started having issues. My printer is back to being good, by the way. It just, when I went through the process, it said that if you've done all this and you've come to the most extreme cleaning option, it won't work. Might not necessarily work, so it recommends a few things, and one of them was waiting 12 hours before you reprint. So I ended up waiting for a couple of days before I tried reprinting, and it was fine. It obviously just needed that time for the ink to all kind of settle and do whatever. I think I might go with the green. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Where's my guillotine gone? It's right beside me. How can I mislay something like this that's got bright orange on it? Heaven only knows. So I hope your week is off to a great start, unlike mine. As I'm recording, this is Monday morning. So, you know, starting the week off with a less than optimal sleep. But that's all good. I'm sure many of you have less than optimal sleeps as well. Now, do I want to cover in the... that could be a bit tricky. But doable. So I'm going to trim it to the width. Again, leaving that bit of border. I might just use the lines on my mat to help line up. Might be a good idea. That's a wee bit close. How about if we go there? Would that be too much? It doesn't look straight to me. Is it straight? No, it's not straight. Let's get things straight first, because no hope of getting anything straight if I don't have the base straight to begin with. Who knew? Right, that looks better. Okay, probably a little bit more gappy than what I anticipated, but that's okay. We'll make it work. Okay, so I'm going to go about there. Now flip it over and grab a pencil. Trace around my tab here. And the hard part will be making sure it goes back in a similar place. Now I want to make a border so it doesn't go right up to the edge of the tab. So I'm going to cut a little bit inside. I might need my little scissors for this. Inside my shape here. This is all crinkled and stuff from being hanging around on my desk, but once it's glued down it'll be fine. And if it doesn't match up perfectly in terms of the gap and, you know, how much of a gap I'm leaving, it's fine. It'll still look cool. Right. Big scissors for that section, and then back in to cut around the curves, trying to leave an even sized border. So can you see there the pencil line and kind of how far in I've come? So it's totally uneven. There's more gap on here than there, but never mind. Never mind. Right, so let's test it, see if we want to take any more. Want to take these just a little bit deeper. Right, let's see how that's going to work. Yeah, that's better. Okay. I know I was being very pedantic right then, but that's okay. So our trash today is the file divider, because it came from a junk shop. It was discarded by somebody, and that's what makes it trash. Perfectly usable as a file divider, you know, in its original purpose, but not what we're using it for. Does anyone still use dividers? I know probably school students would, like I did when I was at school, for separating subjects and topics in your loose leaf folders, but is there any workplace that still uses the dividers? Everything's so computerized nowadays, isn't it? Although not entirely. We can't get away from the paper, which as junk journalists I think we should be highly relieved about. Because what would we do without paper? My goodness. Perish the thought. Okay. Yep, I like that choice of going with the green for the middle section. So I'll put the links to these kits. I think it was a link tree. I don't know if the link tree is still working, so I'll try the link tree, see if it works. If it does, I'll put the link tree. Otherwise, I'll put individual links for the kits if the link tree is no longer working. I suspect it will be working though, in case you want to go check out this. And I'll also link my digital kit as well. Right, so far so good. So there's going to be pockets and stuff in here, guys. So some of this is going to be covered over, but that's okay. I want to start with the base layer of being pretty, and then what gets covered is fine. It's digitals. We can reprint and use them somewhere else. Right, what do we want on our front cover? Ooh, choices. These really cool cotton reels. Have to lose a bit of the design, and our words would be cut off, so it wouldn't make a lot of sense, unfortunately. It would look pretty. What about this cool typewriter? Would that fit? We'd lose some of the mail, but it wouldn't matter too much as long as we keep the typewriter. Let's do the typewriter. It is double-sided, but hey, you know, can't keep everything. Why am I putting that aside? I need it. Do we want to actually wrap it round? It's not quite long enough. Does that matter? Let's just create a border that's kind of about the same distance out. So first off, we need to get rid of, or do I want to do panels? Panels would actually help me extend it. I think I might do panels actually, because it just mimics the inside and will make those creases less bulky than if we wrapped it round. Okay, so just kind of trying to decide how I'm going to go about this. Let's try taking this bottom edge off first. Sorry, just taking a little bit for my brain to, get into gear and how I wanted to approach this. So I did it the right way round. Oh gosh, goodness. I think the problem, because I've got it on the file folder underneath and it's slipping on me. But I've only got a little bit. Yeah, we got there in the end. It's a little bit jagged, but never mind. Right, so I'm going to go about there, I think. So let's tear off this top bit. I've got a little bit more to work with here, so it'll be much easier to tear. Right, now let's do our panels. Oops. And I'm just eyeballing everything. Okay, first panel, which will be the front cover. So, second panel, which is the back, and then we're going to have to tear down the last one. I'm going to take off that inside edge so that we don't interfere with that text there. Because I like the text. It says, "On this day I was given so many blessings I cannot even begin to count them all." And I think that's a really lovely piece to have on the back cover there. Right, okie dokie, let's get gluing. Have another sip of my coffee. I hate to waste the double-sided printing, but if I went into the office and reprinted for this project, then it would just be another probably hour down the track before I got this going, because you know, you get on the computer. Well, for one, it would take probably 20 minutes for everything to load up because it's really cold in there, and computer doesn't like going when it's cold. And then you kind of see things pop up and things you have to deal with, updates or whatever, and then you get distracted by emails or what have you before you actually get to do what you actually intended on. That's the story of my life when it comes to the computer. I seriously need to save towards getting a laptop so I can actually do some computer work in the comfort of my lounge with warmth. And I need to set up my printer for wireless printing because it's capable of it. But weirdly enough, it needs a cable to enable the wireless printing. Like, doesn't that seem nonsensical? Like, you think a wireless printer would work wirelessly, like completely wirelessly. But no, I don't have that cable that enables it to be wireless because it does not come with that cable. So I need to do that so I can even print from the warmth and then just go and take the stuff off the printer once it's printed. That would be absolutely marvellous. It would be revolutionary. And part of me wonders whether I'd actually do that, because I was like, you know, I like seeing it on the screen and checking that everything's kind of lined properly and I've got the right settings. And so, yeah, I don't know. It sounds like it would be good though. Sounds like it would be very helpful. Oh, this is so pretty. Isn't it gorgeous? These papers are so pretty. And I love this typewriter. That's another thing I need to get. I need to get a new ribbon for my typewriter that I bought from a local lady. The typewriter ribbon in it has had it. I can get a little bit out of it sometimes, but most times it just doesn't type very well because the ribbon's had it. And I just haven't got round to getting a new ribbon yet. And I would use it, you know, use it properly for typing out sentiments and things for excuse me, for my journals if I had a ribbon for it that worked reliably. So just another thing on my list. How big's your list? My list is fairly big. List of stuff I need and want. I think at the moment my list of needs is a little bit higher than my list of wants, funnily enough. I know I've been talking recently about stamp pads and, you know, whether I make a move to VersaFine and Clear or what to do. Well, that's on the want list. It's not a need yet, unless my coffee ink pad dies or something completely. Then it might become a need, but yeah. Sometimes it's easier to do the wants because they can sometimes, not always, but sometimes be cheaper. So it's like, well, I'll just do that because I can afford that. But then in the meantime, you're not saving towards the need, which is sometimes bigger, like a laptop. You know, laptops aren't cheap, and I need one that will run Photoshop, which is quite a power-hungry sort of resource sucker. So I need a decent laptop. The laptop I've got is old. It's so slow. It drives me absolute bonkers trying to do anything on it. So I've just not bothered with it. Now, I didn't do this tab on the outside here. I just realized. Is it an issue? I don't think so. We could always put something else there or just leave it by the time we ink around it. It is the back, so it's not super critical, I don't think. And yes, we've gone for a totally different colorway, but I think that's fine because we've got this pink. We've got a little edge showing here, which I actually really like of this paper. Just showing the edge there. Pink, and you open it up and then you get this different colorway happening, which I actually really like. So, how are we going on time? We are doing okay. Great. I'm thinking, what order do I want to tackle this in? Thinking about this for writing space. Do I want to make a little tablet, or if we use that, then we can take advantage of the fact that it's double-sided with lines. So let's start with that. Actually, that will fit in my guillotine, so I'll do that rather than you watch me struggle trying to tear it. Might need to make this shorter, but I'll just take the white off for now. Right, and we definitely need to make it narrower. So I think I'll come inside the green. So we've got a border of the green paper around it. Okay, and we'll have this lovely clock at the top, which is pretty. That's a fun scrap too. Do we want to layer that up? No, I don't. We can use that for something else. Okay, and we need to shorten it, probably. Yes, we do. So let's make a mark. Let's go about where that bottom line is, I think, on the paper. Cool. Another cute little scrap. Right, so tablet, we need more than one piece of paper, don't we? Absolutely we do. Let's grab out some coffee dyed paper. Ooh, here's a page from a Reader's Digest. We could use a bit of that. And it's got a bit crinkly when I was trying to put it in my bag of scraps. It wouldn't fit properly because my bag is so full of bits. Right, so I can do there and there. I'm not making them all exactly the same, just kind of roughly eyeballing. I don't want it any bigger than that first bit that I cut. So as long as it's the same size or smaller, it will work for me. This will have text on the back, but that's okay. It can be written around. I've just had another idea about the tablet. I'm still thinking about it, so stay tuned for that, whether I can make it happen or not. What's in my head? Is that wide enough? Now what it almost is, so it will just be a little bit narrower. Let's work with that. Might as well use that leggy bit. It's very crinkly, this paper I haven't actually flattened out yet. I did use it in my video yesterday, so if it looks familiar, that'll be why it's familiar. So it's the same bit of paper. It's tricky trying to get it lined up properly. So turn it round. Might have better luck. I think about there should be good. I'm going to try and stop, hopefully, somewhere about there. I don't want to cut right across because then I'm going to end up with another leggy bit. Right. Oh, I put the guillotine down. I'm going to need it back. Right, so let's just tear that there. So yeah, I didn't want to cut across there because we might be able to use this bit as opposed to, you know. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Who knows? Right, and width-wise, we want to go, we'll go about there, I think. How many pages do I want in this little tablet? I've got 3 so far. Do we want any more? Don't want to make it too bulky. There's always that danger of it becoming too bulky, and we've still got pockets and bits that I want to put in. So I was thinking about using a Velcro dot to attach it in so you could remove it and pop it back in, but I'm rejecting that idea on this particular project because I think, you know, Velcro dots are quite bulky, and if that's on the inside, then straight away it's going to have quite a bulk, because my Velcro dots aren't small. They're about that big, that round, whatever that is, an inch maybe. So if they were smaller, it might work. So I think I'll just attach it, and it can be a flip up little tablet. Doesn't that look cute? Sweet. Now how am I going to do the top? Do I want to do a little paper strip? I think so. Although we will lose a bit of the top there. Now I've got this offcut here. Let's just take off some of this white. Because we don't need it to be huge. Fold it in half. So we're just losing the very, very top of the clock. Right, so I'm going to glue on, let's make sure all our papers are right up to the top. Would be a good start. Oops. Open it out so I can see what I'm doing. That one there, and then the top one. So I need glue along the top front. Hopefully this works for me, doing it this way. Right, now attaching this middle bit, be that way up. Yeah, I'm just going to glue it as well. So I'm going to put glue on both bits of paper. Make sure it's in straightish. it'll do. It's not perfectly straight. Trim off those. And then glue it on. So I'm not adding staples or anything there. You could totally add staples if you preferred the staple look, but I just thought this would be quite pretty. So we have a little notebook there to write in, and of course you can write here as well. Okay, I shouldn't play with that too much until that glue's had time to dry, otherwise it might detach on me. Oh, but I'm loving how this is shaping up. Considering I didn't have much of an idea how it was going to come together, I think it's going quite well. Excuse me, just having another wee sip of my coffee there. So this actually ends up on the inside, which is really lovely, that saying. So already it's, you know, it's getting thicker, which is fine. I just don't want it to be too thick, because I envisage this to go either in a pocket or as a happy mail piece that you could send out to somebody. I think I'll use this in a journal, in a pocket, is what I'm intending. So I'm bearing that in mind as I construct it. Right, so these are this beautiful page here, which I've just printed 4 to a page to get them smaller. Wondering whether we use that as a pocket. Let's cut out one and see. Oh, my nose is going silly this morning. Keeps wanting to be drippy. It's not super cold. Like, the fire's been going, you know, it's going well. I don't know, maybe it's just talking. Or maybe I've got a slight tendency of winter bugs from hubby, maybe. Don't know. I'm rejecting that idea. I've just had really bizarre occasional symptoms. It's like nothing's fully developed, and I hope it doesn't, but it's just like, what is going on? So, you know how I took pains to make sure this was readable across? It ain't going to work because it's going to be covered, but that's okay. So let's fold down the top, because I always like to reinforce the top of my pockets, like so. And I don't think I want the full height, so let's chop it off. I am not going to do gussets because it's not really wide enough. My little bit of ephemera here, my little sheet music cover. So I would be tempted to do gussets to give it a bit more room, because it's quite a narrow pocket. But to do gussets, we're going to bring the pocket down to like this size, and that's too small. So no gussets on this. It'll just... Ooh. Oops, sorry about that. It was just super tough to get the lid off, and I hit the desk when I did. Cat fur and everything. I can blame Snuggles for that, who likes to come and sit on my desk and sit on everything. She's a funny girl. Right, do I want this in the front or the back? Doesn't really matter, because I envisage having pockets on both sides, or a pocket in a tuck or something, not sure yet. I won't have time to fill these in this video, so, you know, just fill it up with tags, journal cards, what have you, or bits of ephemera if you want to use it as a happy mail, you know, maybe some fun bits that somebody can use to make their own tags or journal cards. That would be really cool as well. Okay, so we've got a little pocket there, and you'll notice I'm not distressing. I'm just going to distress around the very edges, not around the individual pieces, just saving time. We're just kind of working through the process. Right. Now, I did have some others printed at $4 a page, but I don't think I have them with me right now. Or I may have used them all. Yeah, no, I'm not seeing any of them. I possibly have moved them. That's not what I meant to say. Used them is what I was trying to say. So let's go in the kits from the... I'm trying to think of the name of the collab now. Oh my gosh, it's gone out of my head. Sorry about that. I just cannot bring it to my mind. Just looking for something. There's these cute wee tags here. Wonder if we could do something with those. We've got a typewriter and a clock. I'm wondering about this one with the books, and just make it like a little tuck. I'm going to loosely cut it out first because I'm going to strengthen it. It's only on copyweight paper. Most of what I've been using in here is presentation paper. It's a little bit heavier. This is a bit thinner. I think as a tuck spot it needs a little support. So actually book page is all I need. Let's grab out a book page. These are nice. Oh, I don't want to use that one. That would be a shame to use the birds. Cover the birds over. I need to preserve those. So let's just glue this on. I think I'll use glue stick for this. There's that bit of cat hair there. Snuggles, the cat in question, is currently curled up in front of the fire, and Puss is on the back of the sofa, and Kelly was in earlier for breakfast and she went pretty much straight back outside, so she's hopefully curled up somewhere nice and warm with her full tummy, because she ate whenever she comes in, because she doesn't get regular meals because she's not home all the time. When she does come home, she eats like you wouldn't believe. It's like, poor girl. I wish she'd be home more and just be regular around the house, but maybe one day she'll get back to that point like she used to be. Yeah, she eats like there's no tomorrow, that's for sure, when she does come home. So she finished off what Puss had left, and then she got her own serve, and then she had some milk which was left over from Puss, and then she had some biscuits, and then she went out. So I think that's just going to be a cute little tuck there, and we've still got some of our text crossing across there. So this I am kind of like, oh, I kind of would have preferred it distressed, but I haven't distressed anything else internally, so I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to resist the urge, and believe me, the urge is strong. I want to bring that up a little bit. I'm going to bring it up a little bit and in a little bit, just so we have this cool little bit of text down the bottom here. It doesn't have to be right in that bottom corner. So there's our little tuck there. So we can put a tag or something in there, or journal card. We've got a pocket here for a journal card or a tag. We've got our little writing tablet of 3 pages plus the back there with the green paper. So we have writing space here. I mean, you could go to town. You could just keep adding pockets or belly bands or, you know, whatever. But I am just continually bearing in mind the bulk, that I don't want it too bulky. Now, I think, have we got time? Ooh, we've got very little time. Can we just dress up the cover a little bit? Because I think I'm happy with just these 2 bits for adding ephemera in. This for writing, this for writing, and this we can decorate. So maybe in some of these fussy cuts, let me just move my guillotine out the way, and don't think we need the tags, because there's some beautiful fussy cuts here that I haven't really played with so far. I've used a few but not many. So what do we want to put with the typewriter? It's a beautiful little door there. A little chair. Cute little pups. I didn't print them all out, so I'm kind of just going to have to work with what I've got. Oh, we've got the clock inside. We want like another clock, or would that be too much? Possibly too much, wouldn't it? Beautiful birds. Oh, I don't know. Choices, guys, choices. This is what's going to put me over the edge time-wise. Cute little armoire. I'm a bit stuck with the typewriter. Like, what do I pair with the typewriter? What about this little cupboard full of art supplies? That's cute. Or a little desk. Actually, let's try the desk. So these pages are all a mix of the 3 different kits from the 3 ladies. So this one is from RachandBella Crafts. This one is, I can't remember whether it's Scrapbooking with Me or Melina Pylant. So if you're interested in any particular part, then you'd just have to go and have a look, because I honestly cannot remember what's what. Apart from RachandBella Crafts, because she has her little logo on the pages, which makes it easier to remember and credit the right person. Hopefully this looks okay. So I'm just trying to think what's going to work with the typewriter the best. Makes sense. I do like these doors though. I think they're really fun. Just doing a quick little fussy cut here. I love the pictures with borders because it just makes it so much quicker. You don't have to be so careful about your cutting, because it gives you that little bit of grace and still get a nice look to it without cutting things off or leaving white space. We do have a bit of white space in there. Let's just take that out quickly. Just going to make one cut with my knife on the straight edge and then come in with my fussy cutting scissors. Quite easy to cut this little bit out, really. There's plenty of space to get your small scissors in there. If you don't have small scissors, it's going to be a little bit trickier. Okay, needs something behind it to pop it off. So, book page. Oh, it does blend in even on that. What about, got some other bits and pieces here. That's pretty. I don't want to use those that just going to be covered up. Where's my sheet of those smaller versions? Oh, what about the green? Because we've got the green on the inside. Okay, yep. I think that works really nicely. Still not sure how it's all going to come together in terms of working with the typewriter, because we've kind of got like two focal images, but we shall see. We'll see. You can always just not glue it down and use it as a bit of ephemera, maybe in the one of the pocket or tucks or something. Now this I do want to distress around. I think that's part of what's kind of got me a bit stuck, because I do think it needs to be distressed. A little bit tricky, sorry, I'm just going over to the side onto my blue pages to distress around the edges. Right. There, and there are some words in this kit, so where have I buried those? Oh, I found those bits that I was looking for. I got stuff everywhere, guys, can you tell? So we've got, I think I just need to remove that because it's just making it difficult. Things keep moving on me. We were created lovingly. Absolutely. Just going to cut this out. Maybe it's not the right one. Maybe I need something thinner. How about Amazing Grace? These bits down the side here all string together to make, well, you could configure them in lots of different ways to make a sentence, but I'm just going to use a bit in isolation, I think. So we're vastly running out of time. I do apologise if I end up going over time a little bit. I want to just get this front bit sorted. I didn't spend so much time cleaning stuff off my desk as I went along, but I just can't work with it there. Yeah, that fits better. Yeah, okay, let's do it, because oh my gosh, we have literally less than 2 minutes before I go into overtime. We're almost there though, friends. We are almost there. Coming up on the last lap. Which reminds me, the Olympic Games are coming up soon. Who of you likes to watch the Olympic Games? I love watching part of the Olympics, but I find it very difficult to view the bits that I like knowing when they're on. And I love watching the equestrian and the gymnastics, primarily, are my two favourite things to watch. But yeah, it's so hard to know when they're on, and then you spend all your time waiting. and then it's either a repeat, replay that you've already seen, or it's at the wrong time of day for us. You know, it's in the middle of the night or something, and I just can't do the middle of the night. Or back in the day when I used to record it, because it's, you know, so many days, I'd end up recording and then not been watching maybe an hour or two, and then just deleting the rest because I just didn't have time. So yeah, this year I want to make a concerted effort to watch more, but I don't know what time of the day it's going to air here, so that could put the cob wash on it. Right, now that I've done this, is it going to work here? I think so. I mean, ideally you wouldn't have two focal images. And just a thought, where'd that book page go? I've buried it yet again. Oh, bikini. It's got a definition of bikini there. Something you'll never catch me wearing. Never. Never have, never will. I am not built for bikinis. That's for sure. Does that look a bit silly? I don't know. I need to tear it off to kind of... Oh, it's got then on the bottom of that head talk about bile, and it's like, well, that's not particularly delightful to read. So that side's better, but I do like it. I don't think it's necessary entirely, but I do like it, so I'm just going to run with it because it just builds up layers. And we all like our layers, don't we? I'm probably over time, but we're almost there. I promise we're almost there. And just going to ink around this quickly. And my cup of coffee is going to be stone cold by now. And the fire needs feeding because I'm starting to get cold. So it's time I did end this video. And the washing's finished. I can tell the washing's finished, so I need to go hang that out. It's gone very quiet. The dishwasher has also finished its cycle. So yeah, it's suddenly gone very quiet because all the things are finished. Need to go and do stuff and then edit my video and then make another video. Wonder if I can get that done before lunchtime. Get a second video done. Fingers crossed. Okay. Yeah, it's a little funny with the two focal images, but I'm just going to go with it. It's still cute. It's still fun. I was just a bit lacking in ideas, I guess. And conscious of running out of time. Okay, so that's our little project. Little pocket, little tuck spot, little writing tablet. Writing space, writing space, writing space. I think I'm just going to leave that tab there at the moment. I'm going to, and then I'm just going to distress around all the external edges of the green file divider. And I'm calling it done. Wrap it up with a bit of string or a ribbon or lace or something. Pop it in a pocket. Good to go. Good to go. Okay, thanks for joining me for this Trash Craft Tuesday. I hope it's given you an idea or two. Just super fun to play with. And I love that the tab was in the middle because it made it really easy. But even if it was at the top or the bottom, you would just have it in a different place on your trifold. So, take care, my friends. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. I hope I'll catch you then. Have a great day. Bye for now.